I've always been the type of guy who enjoys a bit of adventure, and I guess that's what got me into trouble in the first place. I still can't explain everything that went down that night, but I figured writing it out might help make sense of it. Or maybe just get it out of my head. It all started on a random Friday night. I was bored out of my mind, stuck at home while my friends were out partying. I couldn't join them because I'd promised my parents I'd stay home and keep an eye on my little sister, Sarah. She was fast asleep by 10 p.m., leaving me to my own devices. After a few hours of binge watching some old TV shows, I felt this restless energy building up inside me. I needed to get out, even if it was just for a walk. Sneaking out was easy enough. I'd done it plenty of times when I was younger. The cool night air felt refreshing, and I wandered aimlessly for a while. It was almost midnight when I stumbled upon it, a narrow alley I'd never noticed before, even though I'd walked this neighborhood 1,000 times. Curiosity got the better of me, and I ventured in. The alley was dimly lit, the light from the street lamps barely reaching into the shadows. As I walked deeper, I saw a faint glow ahead. It seemed to pulse, drawing me closer. I turned a corner, and there it was, the hidden market. The place was surreal, like something out of a dream. Or a nightmare. Stalls lined the narrow streets, each one more bizarre than the last. Vendors called out to passers-by, hawking their strange wares. One old man was selling jars filled with what looked like swirling shadows. A woman with unnaturally bright eyes offered me a potion she claimed could make me invisible. Everywhere I looked, there were things that defied explanation. I wandered through the market, my curiosity piqued. The air was thick with the scent of incense and something else I couldn't quite place. It was intoxicating. I saw items that seemed to glow with an inner light, books with pages that turned themselves, and creatures in cages that I couldn't identify. It was like I'd stepped into another world, one that was hidden just beneath the surface of our own. It was then that I noticed her. She was standing by a stall, her expression a mix of fear and determination. She looked about my age, with long, dark hair and piercing green eyes. She caught my eye and quickly looked away, but something about her seemed different from the rest of the people here. I approached her, driven by an inexplicable urge. "Hey," I said, trying to sound casual. "Pretty wild place, huh?" She looked at me, her eyes scanning my face as if trying to decide whether or not to trust me. "You shouldn't be here," she said finally. Her voice was soft but urgent. "Why not?" I asked, genuinely curious. "This place is incredible." "It's dangerous," she replied. "This market, it's not what it seems. You need to leave before it's too late." I laughed, thinking she was joking. "What do you mean?" "It's just a market." "It's a market for the damned and the lost," she said, her eyes darting around nervously. "Souls are bartered here. If you don't leave before dawn, you'll be trapped here forever." I felt a chill run down my spine. Her seriousness was unnerving. "How do you know all this?" I asked. She hesitated, then said, "My name is Lily. I've been trapped here for years. I came here just like you, out of curiosity. Now, I can't leave. But you still have a chance. We need to go. Now." I didn't know whether to believe her, but something in her voice told me she was telling the truth. "All right," I said. "Let's get out of here." We began to weave our way through the stalls, trying to avoid drawing attention. As we moved, I noticed the vendors watching us with predatory eyes. The atmosphere grew more oppressive, the air thicker and harder to breathe. I could feel the weight of countless eyes on us, and it made my skin crawl. "Where's the exit?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "There," Lily pointed towards a darkened archway at the far end of the market. "But we have to hurry. The ruler of this market doesn't like it when people try to leave." We picked up the pace, but the path seemed to stretch longer with every step. It was like the market was shifting, trying to keep us within its grasp. The whispers of the vendors grew louder, their once friendly tones now menacing and mocking. As we neared the archway, a tall figure stepped into our path. He was dressed in a long, dark cloak, his face obscured by a hood. There was an aura of power and malevolence about him that made my blood run cold. "Leaving so soon?" he asked, his voice smooth and chilling. "You haven't even seen the best of what we have to offer." "We're leaving," Lily said firmly, her grip on my arm tightening. The figure chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down my spine. "No one leaves the midnight market without my permission," he said. and I don't give it freely. I stepped forward, trying to summon whatever courage I had left. "We're not staying," I said, my voice trembling only slightly. "We're leaving, and you can't stop us." The figure raised a hand, and I felt an invisible force slam into me, knocking me to the ground. Pain shot through my body, and I gasped for breath. Lily knelt beside me, her face pale with fear. "Foolish boy," the figure said. "You don't understand the forces at play here. You belong to the market now." Desperation clawed at my mind. I couldn't let it end like this. Summoning all my strength, I struggled to my feet. "I won't let you take us," I said, my voice stronger this time. Lily stood beside me, her eyes blazing with determination. "We're leaving," she repeated. "And there's nothing you can do to stop us." The figure laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "You think you can defy me?" he said. "Very well. If you wish to leave, you must play my game." "What game?" I asked wearily. "A simple one," he replied. "You have until dawn to find the key that will unlock the exit. If you succeed, you may leave. If you fail, your souls will belong to me." I looked at Lily, and she nodded. We didn't have a choice. "All right," I said. "We'll find your key." The figure smiled, a chilling sight. "Then let the game begin." He vanished, leaving us alone in the darkened market. The vendors seemed to close in around us, their eyes glittering with malice. We had to move quickly. "Where do we start?" I asked, my mind racing. "The stalls," Lily said. "The key could be hidden anywhere. We have to search each one." We split up, frantically searching through the bazaar and often horrifying wares. Time seemed to slip away, and the pressure grew with each passing minute. I could feel the weight of the market pressing down on me, the whispers of the damned echoing in my ears. At one stall, I found a box filled with strange, shimmering stones. Another held a collection of ancient, cursed artifacts. But there was no sign of the key. Lily was having no better luck. She sifted through books of forbidden knowledge and jars of glowing liquids, but the key remained elusive. The vendors watched us with cruel smiles, enjoying our desperation. The minutes ticked by, and my heart pounded in my chest. We were running out of time. I could feel the dawn approaching, the market's grip tightening around us. Then, at the back of a dusty shelf in a dimly lit stall, I saw it, a small, ornate key, glowing with a faint, otherworldly light. I grabbed it, hope surging through me. "I found it!" I shouted, racing back to Lily. She looked at the key, then at me, relief flooding her face. "Let's go," she said. We sprinted towards the archway, the vendors closing in around us. I could feel their hands reaching for me, their whispers growing louder and more frantic. But I didn't stop. We reached the archway, and I shoved the key into the lock. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a loud click, the door swung open, and we stumbled through. The first light of dawn was breaking over the horizon, and I felt the market's hold on me release. We collapsed on the ground, gasping for breath. I looked back at the archway, but it had vanished, leaving only an empty alley. The market was gone, hidden once more. Lily and I sat there in stunned silence, trying to process what had just happened. We had escaped, but the experience had left us shaken to our core. "Thank you," she said finally, her voice trembling. "I've been trying to leave for so long. I thought I'd never get out." I nodded, too exhausted to speak. We had made it out, but I knew that the memory of the midnight market would haunt me for the rest of my life. We parted ways, promising to keep in touch, but I never saw her again. I went back home, trying to return to my normal life. But every now and then, I hear the faint whispers of the market, calling me back. I resist, knowing that if I ever return, I might not be so lucky next time. So, if you ever find yourself wandering the streets at night and stumble upon a hidden alley, take my advice. Turn around and go home. Some mysteries are better left unsolved, and some places are better left unexplored. The midnight market is one of them, and its shadows are always waiting for the next curious soul to wander in.